Let me tell you one of the things that makes trading so psychologically difficult from a perspective of playing a game. Because when you're trading, you're essentially just playing an online game, right? And if you've, as a man living in the 21st century, you probably grew up playing video games, playing computer games, or playing sports, whatever. By the way, welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. If you guys don't know me, I was a professional Magic the Gathering player. And even today, if you look up top players by ELO rankings, I'm ranked like top 116 in the world. I'm still ranked as one of the best players. And I played all kinds of different games growing up. I also played basketball. And you'd think that trading would be very easy coming from world class at something, a game that would just be transferable. I found that it's not, and there's a couple key reasons of things that makes trading really unique. The first one obviously is the risk, where you're risking something or you're choosing how much to risk, and that amount changes. Typically when you're playing another game, that's not the case. Even when I'm playing if you're playing a tournament, yeah, you pay an entry fee and maybe there's a prize, but it's not the same degree of I choose to bet this much. The bet sizing, right? You get that in poker, but it's unique to trading, and it causes a lot of stresses. Money causes a lot of psychological effects, stress, and the greed and euphoria together. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on that because there's something I've found that is actually unique about trading that makes it even harder, and it's about how in almost any game that you play or competition, there's a clear end to the game. There's rules of how the game ends, and it doesn't matter how much you won by. So if you're playing basketball, the way we play in pickup, games to 17, and if you won by 1 point or you won by 10 points, when it's 17, the game's over, you win, you stay on the court, the loser gets off the court. Or if you play in a more structured league, it might be a time. Whoever has the most points at the end of the 40 minutes or whatever, you win, right? It doesn't matter if you're up by 1, it doesn't matter if you're up by 20. If you win, you win, right? In Magic the Gathering, both players start with 20 life. First player to have 0 or less life, game ends. It doesn't matter if I won, if I still only had 1 life point, and you have 0, it doesn't matter. Like, I advance to the next round. So trading's unique because, for one, it doesn't have a clear ending point, right? You can set your stop and you can set your TP, but you can always move your stop, you can always move your TP. You can always enter a new trade. So that's really tough when you have to discipline yourself and say that it's over, enough is enough. Which is hard when the other thing is that it does matter how much you won by. If you win a trade and you make $1, it's different than if you won a trade by $1,000 or $2,000. So one of the fallacies that can happen is you're in a trade and you have a TP and it's going to your TP, and I do this. This happened to me. I did this just last night. I removed my TP because I'm like, it matters how much I win by, and I decide to keep playing the game because I want to win by more, and then it comes back and stops me at a break even or at a loss, right? So in trading, for your own psychological health and well-being, you have to decide on rules for the game to end and when enough is enough. Whether that's making $100 a day or $1,000 a day or $2,000 a day. You say, why limit yourself? Well, it could also be psychological, where I feel like satisfied, or for me, it's actually when I'm feeling greedy is a good time to get out, where I want more. It's a good time to claim what I have. And it's important, though, to have a stopping point like that, because otherwise you just trade forever, right? You can trade forever, right? And say, I'm not, I can always make more, I want to make more, or make back what I lost. So, I mean, also a stopping point is, I'm down 1,000, whatever. I mean, it's tough, though, because you enforce your own rules, you can always break your own rules. When you're playing a game of basketball and the game ends, you cannot say, I'd like this game to continue. The other players on the court are like, well, it's over, right? It's ritualized. Same thing with when you're playing Magic together, you call a judge, confirms the game's over. But in trading, you can pull off your stop loss and get liquidated, and that can end the game. Or you can let it run forever. So this is something that I'm grappling with, of like, when do you call it? When is enough enough? Do I let trades run overnight? Do I let them run forever? Am I satisfied with 1 hour, 2 hour, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, right? So these are things that you need to ask yourself and be aware of when you're trading. So comment down below. For you, when the game ends, how does the game of trading end? Like, how does your trading session end? What are the rules? Is there a win cutoff point? Is there a loss cutoff point? And how much is enough in terms of, again, you can measure it in rent, you can measure it in groceries, you can measure it in annual income. When do you stop and say, I made enough, I'm going to go do something else with my time? Comment down below. Self-awareness matters, okay? Appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.